So we are moving into 3-3, which is going to be talking about graphs of nonlinear inequalities. So this will piggyback the 1-8 lesson. So the first thing I want you to do is pause the video and see if you can graph the line y = x minus 3. And the goal is to not do an xy chart, to just graph it on the graph. So pause the video and go ahead and do that. All right, so I tried to save a little bit of time by go ahead and graphing this. So notice it didn't translate off of the origin. So I'm going to start on the origin, and every step we take, we're going to cube. So that means 1 to the right cubed is up 1. 2 to the right cubed is up 8. Over here, -1 quantities cubed is -1, and -2 quantity cubed is -8. So this is the graph that we were looking for. All right, so this is going to be asking whether or not each point is in the shaded region, essentially. So we're saying, does this satisfy this inequality? So if we substitute 6, we're going to say 6 is greater than -2 plus 2 squared plus 3. So notice this becomes 0, and the question is 6 greater than 3? And the answer is yes. So what that means is this point should be in the shaded region for that function. So take a moment and see if 2 or 3 would be a yes or a no. So hopefully you paused the video. So for question number 2, I got down to 5 is less than 3. And since that is not a true statement, that point of 4, 5 should not lie within the shaded region. And then for question number 3, 1 less than 11, that is true. And so the point -4, 1 is a solution and should lie in the shaded region for number 3. All right, so now we're going to translate that into actually graphing. So this is going to put together 3-2 with 1-8. So looking at this, this is an absolute value function, and it's going to be expanded vertically by a scale factor of 2. And then if I set x minus 1 equal to 0, x would be +1, so that means I'm going to translate to the right 1 unit. So take a moment to pause your video and see if you can graph what we just wrote. So I've got moved to the right 1 unit, expanded vertically by a scale factor of 2. So 1 to the right, the absolute value is up 1, but I'm going to double that. To the right 2, absolute value of 2 is 2, but I'm going to double that. To the left, absolute value of -1 is 1, but I'm going to double that. Ignore that first dot. And to the left 2, absolute value of -2 is 2, but I'm going to double that because we expanded by a vertical scale factor of 2. Now, it says or equal to, so that means that we are going to be solid. These points are solutions to that inequality. All right. And then this is saying all the y values less than the graph. So that means it's going to be everything below the graph. So take a look at number 5, pause the video, and see if you can graph that. So I took some notes on the right-hand side. So I noted we've got a square here, so that's a parabola. I noticed this 2 outside of the function, so that's going to be expanded vertically by a scale factor of 2. And then I noticed I have the 1 on the inside, so that means I'm going to set this equal to 0. And so x equals 1, meaning I'm going to translate to the right 1. So that's where we're going to start. So 1 to the right squared would normally be up 1, but I'm going to double that. And 2 to the right squared would be 4, but I'm going to double that and go 5, 6, 7, 8, just to kind of make sure we know the difference between the absolute value and the parabola. To the left one, -1 squared would be 1, but I'm going to double that. And to the left 2 squared would be 4, and I'm going to double that. And so in this case, the graph itself is not part of the solution set. So that looks like this. And then this says all y values greater than the graph. So taking a look at the vertex. So this is, notice this was less than, so we went below the vertex. This is greater than, so we're going to go above the vertex, which means that we're inside that parabola, above that vertex. So see what you can do with question number 6. Take a moment to pause the video. So I made some notes. I noted that it was the square root function, and I noted that we're translating to the right 2 and up 1. So that means we're going to start here at the point 2, 1. So then the square root function says each step you take, you're going to take the square root. So to the right 1, the square root of 1 is 1. And then I would go to the right 4. That's my next perfect square. And the square root of that is 2. So we would go up 2. Now the square root itself is not part of the solution, and so we would have something like this. And then the question said less than, but here's the weird thing. If I say less than, do you see that I can squeeze all the way around and possibly go greater than? So we need to have another boundary. So if you remember about domain, we said 2 things that can mess up domain are a denominator and the square root of a negative. So in this case, I need to make sure that x minus 2 is greater than or equal to 0. So that means that x has to be greater than or equal to 2. And you'll notice that that falls right where that vertex of the sideways parabola is. So that's saying I need to be the right of this line, and this is saying below the graph. So that means that my shaded region is going to be everything in that region right there. All right, so see what you can do with number 7. Pause it and see if you can graph that all the way. So I noticed that we have a cube function, and with this plus 3 on the inside, I have to set x plus 3 equal to 0, which means I'm moving negative 3 units or to the left 3 units. So what I'm going to call the vertex, which technically isn't the vertex, but kind of like our starting point, is going to be at negative 3, 0. And so then I'm going to cube everything I do. So 1 step to the right cubed would be up 1. 2 steps to the right cubed would be up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. 1 step to the left, negative 1 cubed is negative 1. 2 steps to the left, negative 2 cubed is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's right about there. And this says that the graph itself is part of the solution. So I'm going to go ahead and do a solid graph here. And then it says y value is greater. Now we can do one of 2 things. We can test 0, 0. And see if that works. And if I plug that in, I get 0 is greater than or equal to 0 plus 3 squared. And so we get 0 greater than or equal to 9, which is not true. So we would shade on this side. Or we can still recognize this is saying all the y values above the graph. So if we look at what we think of as the vertex and shade above that vertex, then we're still shading without having to test points. All right, so then the next part is going to be talking about what's happening if I just have an x value. I'm saying that this absolute value is less than or equal to 6. So what that means is I have 2 possibilities. Either what's inside, as it is less than or equal to 6, or the opposite of what's inside is going to be less than or equal to 6. And then I'm going to solve. So here, if I add 10 to both sides, we get 4x is less than or equal to 16. And then dividing by 4, we get x is less than or equal to 4. Coming over here, if I distribute, I get negative 4x plus 10 is less than or equal to 6. So if I subtract 10 from both sides, I get negative 4x is less than or equal to negative 4. And then when I divide by negative 1, that actually changes my, negative 4, that changes my inequality. So it flips it from less than to saying that we have greater than or equal to 1. So then when I look on a number line, that means I've got this closed circle at 1 and a closed circle at 4 because it does say or equal to. And at 4, it's saying less than, and at 1, it's saying greater than. And so where those cross is right in between. So this is all my x values such that it falls in between 1 and 4, including 1 and 4. So in the next question, do you see that the absolute value is not alone yet? So we want to make sure and get that alone before we start doing crazy things. So we're going to subtract the 2 from both sides. and we get the absolute value of x plus 5 is greater than 4. So pause this and see if you can come up with the solution to this inequality. All right, so what this is saying is either what's inside x plus 5 is exactly this, greater than 4, or it's saying that the opposite of what's inside is greater than 4. So for example, if I'm taking the square root of 11, or if I'm saying x, never mind, I'll just keep going. So if I subtract 5 from both sides, I've got x is greater than negative 1. Here, if I distribute the negative, I have negative x minus 5 is greater than 4. So if I add 5 to both sides, I get negative x is greater than 9. And then dividing both sides by negative 1 flips my inequality, and so I get x is now less than negative 9. You should expect to flip one inequality at least each time. So if I graph this, I've got an open circle at negative 9 and an open circle at negative 1. So this is saying values greater than negative 1 and values less than negative 9. So that isn't something that's going to combine with an and statement. So this is going to be an or statement. So we're going to say the set of all x values such that, and then these inequalities help us. So this side is saying my x values are less than negative 9, and I won't say or equal to because it was an open circle. Or, and again, this inequality says greater, so this is my x values greater than negative 1. So now that you've seen that, pause the video and see if you can do question number 10. So question number 10, I can add 1 to both sides. And so that's going to give me the absolute value of 2x minus 2 is less than 8. So that means that 2x minus 2 could be less than 8, or the opposite of 2x minus 2 could be less than 8. So coming over here, if I add 2 to both sides, we get 2x is less than 10, and dividing by positive 2 does not change my inequality, so I get x less than 5. Over here, I'm going to distribute the negative, so I get negative 2x plus 2 is less than 8. If I subtract 2 from both sides, I get negative 2x is less than 6. And then dividing by negative 2 changes that inequality. And so that means that x is now going to be greater than negative 3. So if I look at that on the number line, that means I have an open circle because it's strictly greater than at negative 3. And I have an open circle at 5. So greater than negative 3 is shaded to the right, and less than 5 is shaded to the left. So these are going to combine to say that it's all the x values that lie between negative 3 and 5, where negative 3 and 5 are not included.